Hi, my name is Jason Yunker. I'm the director of Resilient Recovery Ministries, and I'm here to do part 2 of our reaction video. It's called Six Steps to Life-Altering Change for Addicts and Convicts. In this video, what we're going to do is delve a little bit more into the program itself, and then these 6 steps that they say lead to life-altering change. And I will give you my reaction to what those things are.
Mo was allowed to go to such a place. It's called Delancy Street in San Francisco. At Delancy Street, they don't take any government money. There's no charge to the participants. The money generated that's needed to run the place is generated by the convicts and addicts that go there who run vocational training schools. In this model, we don't focus on the crime or the addiction. We are not a drug treatment plan. We are a life skills school that focuses on the underlying behaviors that led to those actions. And we do it without social workers, therapists, or counselors.
All right, so yeah, again, they've got this real like grassroots ethos. I think also maybe kind of a conservative bent on things, that it's not government or outside meddlers that's going to help you change. So I dig that ethos, but there's a role for everyone. There's a role for social workers as much as they're annoying. There's a role for case managers. There's a role for physicians and emergency rooms and churches, and there's a role for everybody to play in this. All right, let's see what else they got.
Delancy Street and the Other Side Academy are built on a few simple ideas. First one, you have to want to change.
Yes and no on this one. A person has to want to change, but that doesn't mean that the reason for change isn't going to come from outside. So when you look at recovery capital and what you have to be able to finance that transition from using to not using, it includes things like getting in trouble with the law, not wanting to go back to jail. It includes, your spouse or significant other being upset with you. It includes things like wanting to do better for your kids. It can include career aspirations. So this it's all down to you and what you decide and your choices. Yeah, that's true, but outside forces can put some pressure on you, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually considered recovery capital. Let's see what they got to say next here.
I had spurts of being clean and successful in life, and I knew that there was a better way for me. Right. I don't think God intended for me to be homeless, walking the streets, or a dope fiend alcoholic. So while in jail, facing new charges, I wrote a letter to Delancy Street, and they gave me an interview.
Yeah.
In that interview, I was desperate, and I begged and pleaded for them to help me.
Yeah, I'd catch that. They granted me an interview. I was desperate. I wanted change. So they're selecting people at the beginning, and if you don't appear to really want to change, then they're not selecting you. So that's fine to do that as a program. We don't want to waste our resources on somebody who's not ready right now. But then when you make the claim that you have the answer, no, you've selected people who are particularly motivated in this moment, and by getting a skewed sample of people who are super motivated right now, your program might look like it has better outcomes than others. Although I don't hear them offering any statistics about their success rate, so I'm not sure that they even collect data on it.
The second principle of change is what we call act as if. This is really important. It means that even if you don't feel like being decent or honest or caring, you act that way until it becomes you. We practice being a moral person over and over and over until we become that person.
Yeah, that's right on. There's tons of therapies that use that kind of a thing, where they ask you just to do it, even though you're not feeling it, just do it anyway. And there's tons of different kind of reframes of how you ask people to do it and how you make it make sense for them. But that's totally, that's very common and very effective and absolutely the right thing to do. Agree 100%.
Practicing doing the right thing. That's principle number 2. Principle number 3 is what we call each one, teach one. This means, we like to say, when A helps B, A gets better.
Yes, 110%. Total agreement with that. There's multiple different lines of research that show when you learn something in order to teach someone else, you learn it better, you internalize it better, you remember it better. And then there's the other thing that you activate when you do that is this sense of responsibility to another person. So there's a lot that goes into that each one, teach one. 100% agree. That's a fantastic way to help people. And yeah, can't agree more. Fantastic.
The next principle is peer accountability. When you come to the Other Side Academy, you give your peers the power to hold you accountable for your actions and to be brutally honest with you when you mess up, which we know you'll do, and that's where learning really happens.
Right. So I had gotten in some trouble at Delancy Street. Later on in a meeting that we call games, an opportunity to get feedback from your peers. One of my peers stepped to and said, "Mo, you're a liar, you're a sneak, and you're a cheat." I wasn't having any of that. They weren't talking to me. It must be somebody else.
No, F- on this one, F-. Confronting people doesn't work. Giving them negative feedback does not work. Somebody in that program will do okay, right? You'll get some good outcomes from it. But if you have a program that focuses on strengths and lifting people up, and you have a program that in any way, shape, or form involves criticism and negative feedback and confrontation, the outcomes will always be better for this program that was strength-based. And there's risks, what we call iatrogenic effects, that if you talk to people that way, you take people who are already broken down and you verbally abuse them in this way, you risk them leaving treatment, you risk them feeling worse about themselves, you risk them saying, screw it, I'm just going to use. It does not help people. In those few cases, where he seems to be in favor of it and it helped him somehow, what's really going on is you're just seeing how amazing he is, right? He's able to take this aversive, negative experience and spin it in his mind and turn it into a positive. He's so motivated to improve and get better that even something as awful as this, he can use. So it's not a story of how great the program is, it's a story of how awesome he is. One caveat to that is that high expectations is good. So having high expectations, like at the beginning, he had a friend come up to him and tell him, this isn't you, you're better than this. High expectations is good, holding people accountable is good, putting them down never works. Or it works so rarely that it's not worth doing, and the risk of it backfiring is so bad it's not worth doing. Outdated and wrong. Sorry. All right. I did not like that last one. Let's see what number 5 is.
And then another person said the same thing. And then another offered some specific examples.
All right, so he's continuing to talk about how he's getting these verbal truth-telling things to him. Yeah, let's check that out for a minute.
About the 5th person into it, I felt something give. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. I'm a liar and I'm a manipulator. And for the first time, it made me sick.
The next step is immediate consequences for bad behavior.
All right, so two things. One is I think you can see that he was able to somehow withstand that onslaught of negative feedback and turn it into something positive. Not everyone has that strength and that fortitude. And if you've got a medication that works but causes, vomiting and stomach bleeding, and you've got one that works better and doesn't cause the stomach bleeding, why would you use the one that has the adverse side effects? Yeah. So immediate consequences. Let's see what they have to say about that.
Once again, I'd gotten in a little trouble. And this time, I'd gotten a haircut, a verbal reprimand by one of the leaders in the community. When she gave me that haircut, I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I wanted to split and go get high to deal with my emotions and my difficulties.
But check out that he knew that it was because he wanted to deal with his emotions. Not everyone has that same ability to self-examine and to know what's going on with them. They might just be, boom, I'm in fight or flight mode and it's your fault and I have no insight whatsoever. This guy knows, oh, something's happening inside of me and it's making me want to go use, and now I've got to figure out what to do about that. So there's a gap between when he feels something negative and when he responds to it that not everyone has. So again, this guy's amazing, right? The program, yeah, there's some good stuff in it. This guy's amazing. He's got tons of resources.
But I said, you know what? It's time to change. Time to do something different. It's only some extra chores, some extra dishes. An opportunity for me to look at what I did wrong.
Yeah, that's called a reframe, right? So instead of, you hate me, I want to go use this, he reframes it first and says, it's just chores, right? Nothing to get worked up about. And then he does this really powerful reframe and says, it's an opportunity. He turns the haircut and the punishment he got into an opportunity. Not everyone's able to do that. So kudos to him. Again, a man of many, many resources and abilities and talents. And those are despite a really rough upbringing, that's the hero in this story is him and how he's able to do these things.
The last principle is you have to practice doing the right thing for a really, really long time until you become that person.
Yeah, can't agree more. That's a phenomenal principle to have. So in terms of the 6 steps, that's right on. Couldn't agree more. Way to go, guys. And how awesome is it that society gets to have Mo as a productive member of it again after, just being brought so low at one point in his life. Cool. Way to go. Applause, handshakes, cheers, confetti from the ceiling and all that stuff. Totally cool. Love it.